Okay, well, welcome. These teams are like on point today and are ready to get into this match already. So I'm going to start just a couple minutes early and kind of give you a rundown of what happened with coin toss and map bans here. If you're unaware, it's going to be Arrogant Nephalem going up against UuuuuuuuU tonight. And coin toss was won by Arrogant Nephalem. So let's take a look at these map selections and bans. So we did have Cursed Hollow and Tomb of the Spider Queen being banned out on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. UuuuuuuuU deciding to ban out Dragonshire and Hanamura. As I said, coin toss was won by Arrogant Nephalem. They've decided to go with that first pick, so that gave map pick over to the side of UuuuuuuU, and our first game will be bringing us to Battlefield of Eternity tonight. Paradox, how are you doing? Kimmy, thank you so much for dropping by, guys. Yuna's the imposter. All right, I'm going to let them know that we're ready to go whenever they are. And I'm excited to get into this. Last week I casted UuuuuuuU's game and messed up their name the entire time. But they did bring that series to game 3 and ended up winning 2-1. So I'm excited to see if they pick up a couple more points tonight and how the Division B West is kind of standing after their game against Arrogant Nephalem tonight. Ideal, how are you? Hi Poppy, how are you? Alright, we're just waiting on one of the teams for the ready and we'll be getting into game number 1. The Pang emotes. It's fun watching UuuuuuuU play because I've known some of these players for literally like 3 or 4 years now. Poppy's the imposter. I'm doing well. Just trying to keep cool, keep hydrated, stay out of the smoke. Alright, they just need a minute on the side of UuuuuuuU before we can get into this, but it should be starting soon. I'm excited to see how these teams choose to draft here, if they're going to go hard for the Immortal Burn DPS or if they're more looking to win maybe the team fight on Battlefield of Eternity. We know Unaleska, big Artanis player, and with amateur opponent, that definitely can help shred those Immortals. I'm not too familiar with the team Arrogant Nephalem and what their hero pool looks like, so I can't really speak to what we might be seeing coming from them. But I'm excited to see what they do end up drafting here. Things I wouldn't be surprised to see on the side of UuuuuuuU though would be like potentially a Muradin pickup from Pang, Yuna on the Artanis, maybe Coffee grabbing Cassia or Big Bird. I think Big Bird also plays that. I think Slexia has been playing heal the majority of the time. So I would think maybe Deckard or Anduin from her. But we'll just have to see. Coffee's known for his combo type heroes, so he's really good on like KTZ and Alarak and Kerrigan. None of those are usual pickups you see on Battlefield of Eternity, but I mean, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. You'd ban Art Insta? For sure. I'm on Arrogant Nephalem, so I'll know what they'll do. Oh, perfect. What are they going to do? Wait, Poppy, you said you don't want me as an imposter buddy anymore? Did I do something wrong? Chugga, 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 chugga. Ooh, woo. Okay, the ready's out on the side of ooh, woo as well. So I think we're going to be getting into game number 1 here in a second. Here we go. Battlefield of Eternity, game number 1 between Arrogant Nephalem and UuuuuuuuU. I'm super pumped to see what Arrogant Nephalem brings to this draft. Oh, Metal Magic's here too. How are you doing? Okay, right off the bat, taking away that Artanis. I can't say I blame them. We definitely have seen Yuna land some god swaps in previous games. Pair that with the burn on Immortal. Seems like a pretty reasonable ban on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. Here's that white main ban coming out from UuuuuuuU. So this might be a little bit of a target ban potentially. There might have been some scouting going on who plays what on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. You don't typically see white main being banned unless it's a target ban. And especially not so early in the draft. ETC being taken away here. Again, he's a very popular tank in the meta, so it's not surprising at all. Wondering if UuuuuuuU is gonna decide to. Oh, well, they decided to ban out that Mei. I know that UuuuuuuU also has some players on their team that play Mei as well, but I can understand not wanting to have to deal with her since they don't have that first pick.
Anytime you're ready.
Raynor getting picked up on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. I like an opening draft with a Raynor. It just seems like a nice solid first pick. It doesn't really give away too much of your draft and what you're trying to do. He's great on Battlefield of Eternity. And it leaves the rest of the draft to be pretty flexible. You get a little bit of a peek of what's going on at the enemy side first. And you can draft some stuff around that. They're going to grab the Joanna, so they'll have that blinds to kind of negate some of Raynor's AA damage. And Unileska picking up her Thrall here, so we can... I think she'll be up in the solo lane on this map. Now, I don't know how many of you know, but before Yuna was famous for playing Artanis, she played a lot of Thrall, so this is definitely a comfort pick for her.
Anna checking in.
Oh, I love this combination coming out on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. The Anna and the Mephisto. Nano boost the Mephisto. It's going to be juicy combos over there so far. The Imperious ban coming out from UuuuuuuU. You know, I don't know if this is a ban pick to take away from one of the players on the side of Arrogant Nephalem, but regardless, I like that ban. I think that a well-played Imperious can be absolutely devastating for a team to go against. If he's landing stuns and the team has the follow-up damage, it really doesn't take much to delete heroes with his help. We have that Li Ming ban coming out. I think this is just, I don't think that this was necessarily to counter anyone on the side of UuuuuuuU. It's just a common mage that you see picked up on Battlefield of Eternity.
With every death comes honor. With honor, redemption.
So Brightwing and Hanzo being picked up here. We saw Slexia playing some Brightwing last week in some matches I casted, and I believe one of the things we were saying is, you know, she's not our favorite healer to see necessarily, but she was making some great plays and great saves on her teammates playing that right wing.
Tremble before me.
So I think she might be able to make it work. Having that extra spell armor will help as well into a nano boosted Mephisto. We're going to see Falstad and the Diablo pickup. The Falstad pickup's really interesting here. I'm thinking they're going to put the Falstad up in the solo lane. Most likely. We'll see what he builds, but most likely I could see him in the solo lane. It's not unusual for a Falstad to go solo. It is unusual to see a Falstad picked up on this map in general, though. Typically, you see Falstad on a map where the global is going to be more impactful. Battlefield of Eternity, 2-lane map, most of the fighting going on right in the center of the map. It's a different pick than you typically see here. And we'll have to see how it plays out. And then we have the Diablo pickup as well. Diablo I love here, though, so I think that is an excellent pickup. I am a little bit worried about how squishy their team is, and the fact that they've decided to draft a tank that's more about diving in there makes me a bit worried for how this will turn out for them. And Coffee picking up that Greymane is also a little bit scary. I've been against Coffee's Greymane. It's definitely something I don't want to mess with. By the way, thanks for casting. Yeah, no problem. Hi, Tearless. I'm doing well. Thanks for dropping in. All right, here we are, game number 1 of our best of 3 series between Arrogant Nephalem and UuuuuuuuU. On the left-hand side, we have Arrogant Nephalem with Dakilidin on the Raynor, Sagatai on the Diablo, Trey playing Mephisto, Null Pointer on the Ana, and Mig playing the Falstad. And on the right-hand side, UuuuuuuU with Pang playing Joanna, Big Bird on the Hanzo, Coffee playing the Greymane, Slexia on the right wing, and of course Unileska on the Thrall.
To arms.
So I was right. We have the Falstad going up to top lane, solo up there. So we're going to see Thrall and Falstad pairing off and matching off against each other in the top lane. And the rest down here just doing the 4-man. Just going to see a lot of poking for the first part here. Sleep Dart going out, but doesn't quite connect onto anyone. Pang now setting up in the bush here to kind of keep vision and maybe catch a flank on some out-of-position DPS. I'm going to take a peek up in this solo lane. It does look like Falstad is having a little bit of a hard time dealing with this Thrall right now, getting quite low already. Thrall, one of the nice things about him as a bruiser is you don't have to be in melee range to do damage. You can easily poke down with your Q. So we did see Falstad use that tap already to try and sustain in the lane. Let's check out bottom again here. Kind of just looks like for the most part down here, some poking back and forth. Got the Polymorph going out onto the Diablo. Joanna comes in to try and get some stuns and CC onto him, but she's going to end up flipped and she's under the tower walls now, taking a little bit of damage there. Sleep landed onto the Hanzo. He needs to be careful that he gets out of position before the Diablo gets onto him. But Brightwing's doing a good job just kind of healing them all up and keeping them alive in this lane here. Again, just a lot of poking back and forth. No kills secured, but XP is being soaked. Take a peek up here. Falstad's able to push that lane in, but it's costing a lot for him. He's going to have to back here and get that health. It's going to allow Yuna to potentially grab that top camp. In the bottom here, Coffee having to use that tap to heal up. Kind of keeping eyes on that bottom siege camp, making sure that no one's going for the invade. But bruiser camps are also up, and typically you're going to grab those right before Immortal. So as you see, we have Greymane over here starting the bruiser camp on the side of UuuuuuuuU. Meanwhile, over on the side of Arrogant Nephalem, we have Mephisto, Raynor, and Ana quickly shredding down at that bottom, or that bruiser camp. Thrall didn't end up doing that top siege camp when Falstad backed, unfortunately.
I shall
But she did keep eyes on it, so it's not like it was stolen or anything. So each team having a camp kind of pushing in opposite lanes. We do have UuuuuuuuuU positioning down here for the burn. Which means they're going to be taking a fight under an enemy immortal. Kane's getting kind of low. He does pop that unstoppable. Is looking to walk away here. Coffee doing what damage he can from the side. Falstad needs to be careful here. Just a little bit out of position. Pang getting queued in underneath the Immortal. We have the teleport from the right wing coming out onto Pang to heal up the Joanna there. Again, just like we saw in the 4v4 in the bottom, a lot of poking back and forth, but no kills getting secured here. Joanna, however, out of mana, is not going to be able to be much use to her team. And also low on health. But we are at halftime here. UuuuuuuuU slightly ahead on that Immortal burn, and they're just deciding to go straight for the burn, both teams here. It does look like UuuuuuuU is going to win this one. But fortunately for the side of Arrogant Nephalem, they are able to get quite a bit of damage onto the Immortal in return. So no big shields to have to burn through here. And we are going to see this Immortal head bottom. See UuuuuuuU being quite aggressive here, trying to put out some damage, secure what kills they potentially can before the Immortal arrives, just to allow them to do even more sieging with it. Fisto doing a great job with the Rainer there, being able poking down and kind of getting some damage out onto the back line. Here comes a flank from the Diablo that sleep onto the Grey Mane, getting him caught out in a little bit of position, but here comes Lexia with the save, manages to get the teleport onto the Grey Mane, and he's going to live here. Diablo getting quite low, and we do see the Hanzo manage to secure the kill onto him, and that's actually first blood, ladies and gentlemen, going over in favor of UuuuuuuU.
But he will rise again.
You did see they managed to get that entire fort with that push as well. So I kind of said earlier, you know, Brightwing not necessarily my favorite hero or healer to be picked up, but Slexia's there when you need her to be. Alright, I like this. Arrogant Nephalem realized there's not much they could do bottom, decided to rotate top and look for value there. They're going to grab that siege camp. It just kind of denies UuuuuuuU from being able to grab it there. Because they were definitely looking to grab it if it was still up by the time they rotated from bottom camp. I do think that they kind of need their Diablo on these defenses. Without having a tank, it just kind of allowed the team to step up into them and put out a lot of damage before he arrived. And right now he is soaking bottom, and you just have 4 squishy heroes top. Next Immortal spawning in 25 seconds here. Bruiser camps are up in 10 seconds for the side of Arrogant Nephalem. And now another 10 seconds on the side of UuuuuuuU as well if they want to back up and just look to take the camp potentially before Immortal spawns. It also just might be good to set up on Immortal and be ready for the burner defense. But we're going to see Grey Mane getting caught here. Here comes the teleport from the right wing. That's going to keep him alive here. Sleep lands, but the rest of the team's already on the retreat. We're just looking for the disengage. Pang setting up in the bush, making sure to get vision of Arrogant Nephalem on the rotation here. He is set up for a potential defense. Rest of its team rotating down to start the burn. Arrogant Nephalem actually deciding to go for that pick up on the Bruiser camp to have some deep push bottom, potentially threaten that bottom fort if the fight ends up lasting long enough here. Level 10s, you know, both teams pretty even on XP here, so level 10's probably not going to be hit in this fight just because they're going straight for that Immortal burn. The Brightwing teleport coming up to heal up the tank here. It might be the teams just deciding to kind of back off and try and get these level 10s. UuuuuuuU is really really feels like they're more in charge here because they have all that poke damage to get onto the Immortal right now. But Arrogant Nephalem doing a good job of trying to zone them out, defend it as best as they can, while level 10s are being looked for. Level 10's now in line for both teams here, and that's the Immortal down. And this time, unfortunately, Arrogant Nephalem not getting any damage onto their own Immortal there. So full shield Immortal heading into the top lane in favor of in favor of UuuuuuuuU. So we did have Hyperion, APOC, Gus, Nano Boost, and the Endurance of Hate being picked up on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. On the side of UuuuuuuuU, Earthquake, Blessed Shield, go for the throw. Diablo looking for the engage there, but doesn't quite land the combo with the APOC, but fortunately, Endurance of Hate there to follow up. Yuna getting quite low. They managed to secure the kill onto the Thrall, but not for free. We see Falstad and Ana going down in the back. Coffee flanking here, looking to get that damage out onto Diablo. Instead dives in onto the Mephisto, and that's going to be another kill secured for UuuuuuuU. Diablo getting quite low, Polymorph connecting onto him, and now the Cocktail finishing off the Diablo as he tries to retreat. Looks like they are pushing to pressure a keep here. We have the teleport coming out to heal up the tank. Means he's able to kind of sit in front and heal for his backline a little bit more while they get what damage they can onto this keep here. We have a disconnect. I was wondering, I was like, why is Brightwing just staying and autoing for so long? And then I realized she's disconnecting. Yeah, really, really unfortunate time there to disconnect, because she is kind of just caught under this keep now. I mean, the nice thing going for the side of UuuuuuuU is they're a bit ahead on XP, and kind of have more control over what's going on in the map with all their forts up and stuff. So even if she does fall here, it's not gonna be It's not gonna be like completely devastating for the side of UuuuuuU. Brightwing's dead. Pang, he's our man. If he can do it, no one can. I think you mean can't do it? I mean, maybe he's that good that whatever he can do, no one else can. Win because of DC? I don't think that's how it works. But I'm just here to cast. I don't know the actual guidelines for players DCing and stuff. Jazzy's pretty good at this caster thing. Thanks. I appreciate the compliment. Well, here's the thing, Tearless, she just used her teleport. She talented into Emerald Wind, not Blink Heal, so she doesn't have that to use an escape. She maybe has her medallion, her Gladiator's medallion up, but at this point, it's not looking good. Hopefully we can get her back into the match in a minute here, though. Yeah, I think that is a stun into the wall going off on Diablo right now as well. So Just leave her alone. Yeah, I started to kind of give a rundown of what talents were picked on the side of UuuuuuuuU. We had the Earthquake from Thrall. I just mentioned Brightwing chose Emerald Wind. Go for the Throat on the Greymane, Dragon's Arrow on the Hanzo, and Blessed Shield on Joanna. And everything is on cooldown right now for them. So I don't think she's getting out of there, but fortunately, with the lane pressure that UuuuuuuU has going, even if she dies here from the DC, it's not going to be a big deal. All right. All right, and there we saw. No one saw that one coming. Brightwing getting picked off here. UuuuuuuU rotating up, taking a look at this camp, but Arrogant Nephalem just ready to try and get whatever advantage they can off of that kill, pushing directly onto this camp and chasing the rest of UuuuuuuU away. Brightwing back up in 8 seconds here to join the fight, so this is probably all they're going to be able to get for now. They do have a lot of lane pressure bottom that's going to need to be cleared up. We just see Falstad fly bottom to clear that up. Thrall sitting down here, ready to catch the soak when the wave gets pushed out, and maybe even starting this bottom camp as well while he's here. Oh, Malice, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope the family's well. Trying to be really aggressive on these rotations, kind of keeping vision on what's going on with Arrogant Nephalem, making sure to give Yuna enough time to grab that camp before they can rotate down and discover her on that. Their Bruiser camp is up on the side of UuuuuuuU. That's going to be picked up here and pushing in top lane. So Arrogant Nephalem kind of needs to deal with this camp at some point during this Immortal phase, simply because if they leave it unchecked, they're going to lose a keep. Both teams on equal talent tiers now, so this is a time that Arrogant Nephalem can try and take a fight. They are setting up for the defense here once again. But as I said, if they leave that top camp unchecked for too long, it is going to threaten and eventually take that keep. So something to keep in mind. Diablo getting really chunked down, stepping up, trying to look for something here. Root landing onto the Rainer with a bunch of follow-up damage. He's going to have to pop his self-heal. Anna coming in with a little bit of heals too to keep him alive here. Rainer is now backing off to clear that top lane up. I don't know if just him alone at this point is going to be enough to save the keep. It is getting quite low, but it looks like he's managing to keep it alive for now. Meanwhile, halftime's about to be hit on these Immortals. UuuuuuuU once again ahead on this race here. They are setting up for the defense, and this time they have all 5 members. Rainer coming back to help out. UuuuuuU's not quite ready to just fight under Immortal. I'm not sure if they're... I mean, level 16s are quite a far way off from being hit. Arrogant Nephalem really wants to fight here. Diablo getting the stun onto Joanna. She's popping her stoppable, and he's just getting chunked down really fast on the side of UuuuuuU. Pops the A-pop, does land onto a couple members of UuuuuuU, but unfortunately nothing to come out of that. We need to see the Diablo fall. We have the Mephisto turning around and trying to get some damage onto the backline here. UuuuuuU looking so close to dying, but unfortunately just no one falling here. They're going to turn around right away, look for that burn onto the Immortal, while 2 members of the Arrogant Nephalem are down. I feel like with a tank like Diablo, if they had drafted something that's a little bit more, you know, melee dive kind of hero as opposed to a bunch of ranged damage, this might have worked out a little bit better, or maybe drafted a different tank to complement the damage that they did pick up. But it's just a little bit awkward for Diablo with all this range damage and no real follow-up on any of his cues in. Rainer taking a bit of damage there, blind coming out from Joanna. Teleport going on to the Greymane to keep him alive. Falstad getting quite low, but Anna's in the back, keeping everyone healed up. Mephisto using his shade to get some damage out there. Pang getting quite low here. He is taking tower shots, but managing to step out of tower range and survive there. And they get the pick onto Diablo once again. So they are going to manage to secure this keep here. Whether they go for a core call, I'm not sure. We do have that gust up to kind of create some space if they want to use that. As well as just health pools getting a bit low on the side of UuuuuuuuU. We can see Coffee getting really low. Yuna also not too far from dying here if she's not careful. They're shredding down this Immortal though, and it looks like UuuuuuuU is deciding to back off. So the game's not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. Them medallions that everybody just sat and APOC and medallioned it. Yeah. I mean, APOC is back up now, but they're going to look for level 16s first before they try and take another fight here. Medallions are on a 5-minute cooldown, so they have time to go for more CC and another team fight, potentially before all their medallions are back up. Sixteens are online now for the side of Arrogant Nephalem, so they can look to maybe try and find an engage here before level 20s are hit on the side of UuuuuuuU. They do need to clear out that bottom lane though, because that will be pressuring onto the core if it goes unchecked for a while, so that's what they're going to do here. Their bruiser camp is also up, and it kind of looks like Pang is looking for vision on that. He's over here by himself. I mean, Arrogant Nephalem maybe isn't aware of that, but he does need to be careful. Is if they decided to engage, they want to look for the fight, so it's just a little risky showing up there by yourself knowing that they want to fight on equal Palantirs here. Both teams just looking to clear out the bruiser camps that were capped on each side here before Immortal burn begins. You see it. UuuuuuuU going straight for the burn here. Pang doing a good job of stalling the rotation on the way down. Almost allowing UuuuuuuU to get halftime already. Arrogant Nephalem doing what they can to chase everybody off of their Immortal. Now just kind of positioning for the defense. It's tough though because there's actually quite a bit of poke from a Hanzo, and even like the Thralls, the Q from Thrall as well. They're going to fight under this Immortal. Out comes the APOC. It does connect onto the Johanna. Yuna getting really low as well. We do see the Johanna getting picked off. Down goes the Thrall. Here comes the turnaround potentially for the side of Arrogant Nephalem. They do lose 2 members though in that fight. Greymane getting extremely low. He does have taking damage on him from the Ana, and he does get picked off as well. So that's a 3 for 2 in favor of Arrogant Nephalem. They can now look to try and turn this around. Still need to be careful. Diablo getting quite low. Ana doing what she can to heal up the team, but that Hanzo has quite good poke damage, and there's Katas on their core right now. Out comes a teleport from the Brightwing. And the Hanzo are connecting onto all 3 members left up on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. But this Diablo is not giving up. He's doing what he can to try and get some picks here. Unfortunately, he's going to fall. Down goes the Ana as well. And keep in mind, look at this bottom lane. Kata's pushing in onto this core. They're starting to take damage. Already cleared the shield off. They're also about to lose their top keep. So although they won the numbers fight there, they just ended up losing the 2v3 into all that poke damage from the Hanzo. Diablo not quite having enough time to get healed up by the Ana. And the Hanzo arrow coming up. It was just, it was really unfortunate. Now I have this Immortal, quite healthy shields, and that's going to be going straight to core here as top keep just fell as well. Level 20 is also now online for the side of UuuuuuuU. Diablo looking for the flank, trying to get this fight in behind the Immortal. Throws out the APOC, but doesn't quite combo it right. And but now we have Brayden getting caught with endurance, and it's just not enough because Diablo's gonna fall here, followed by the Ana. Down goes the Mephisto, and Falstad just barely managing to escape here. It's a tough fight. I mean, they're down level 20s. Rainer wasn't with them for that fight. He was defending Immortal the entire time. So you're down level 20s, fighting 4v5. Yeah. It's a difficult game to come back from at that point. We can take a look at the score screen here to get an idea of how everyone was doing. I do have to hand it to the Hanzo that game. Really turned around that team fight that they did end up losing. And kind of securing them that Immortal. I wouldn't count Arrogant Nephalem out here. I think they switch a couple things up in their draft. And they'll be in a much better place. We had some nice Durances coming out from the Mephisto. And there was even some nice APOCs. Just the unfortunate thing is the members of UuuuuuuuuU having that UuuuuuuuuU having that Gladiators medallion up kind of allowed them to just avoid the APOC. We can take a look at talents as well here. While we wait to see what's going on for game number 2. Since Arrogant Nephalem's lost that one, they're going to be given the option of map pick or first pick. Yeah, there's the builds for everyone that wants to see it. Hi, Wolf. How are you doing? Oh, 2 Wolves, Mel Wolf and GG Wolf. Yeah, honestly, it kind of felt like this Arrogant Nephalem was struggling to try and figure out how to take these fights. It was just a little bit of a difficult comp to play around with a Diablo that's looking to dive in and secure kills off of stuns and stuff, and none of the other members really capable of diving in to follow up on that. It makes it a little bit tricky to set up Durance combos. It was hard. I don't know. It's a hard game for them. They were also... Diablo couldn't even close the gap between his team and the enemy team to look for picks either without getting chunked down so fast by the Greymane and Hanzo and Thrall. Alright. Does look like the lobby for game number 2 is up here. We are going to Infernal Shrines for this match. This one was picked by UuuuuuuuU. Alright, let's just give you a rundown of how we got here and what's going on really quickly. If you're just joining in, we are going to game number 2 here. Game number 1 played on Battlefield of Eternity, picked by UuuuuuuU and also won by UuuuuuuU. Arrogant Nephalem did win that coin toss and opted for first pick for game number 1. And they also banned out Cursed Hollow and Tomb of the Spider Queen. UuuuuuuU banning out Dragonshire and Hanamura, so we won't be seeing any of those maps for the rest of the night. Going into game number 2, since Arrogant Nephalem lost the first match, they opted to take that first pick again. UuuuuuuU bringing us to Infernal Shrine, so we'll just have to see how this one plays out. I'm excited to see what Arrogant Nephalem does here to switch up their draft. And let me also update the score real quick. This is a best of 3. Hope you're doing well. I'm here to watch, stream, and cheer on UuuuuuuuuU. Oh, thanks. Well, thank you to everyone that's coming out to watch tonight. I really appreciate it. I love seeing fresh faces in here. Yeah. I am ready when they are. So I'm going to let them know that. But yeah, we are going to Infernal Shrines for game number 2. Again, this one was picked by UuuuuuuuU. So I'm wondering if they have I'm wondering if they have an idea or a strategy for on this map. I know that some teams kind of have a game plan when they pick a map. Other teams just go with their gut feeling, so thank you, Clumsy. I really appreciate it. Alright, we have a couple members that are away for a bathroom break before we get into game number 2. This is a best of 3, so if UuuuuuuuU does win this next game, they'll take the series. If Arrogant Nephalem manages to pull the win, we'll be going to a game number 3. So far, surprisingly enough, all of my games that I've casted for NGS all last week have all gone to game number 3. So I would love to see Arrogant Nephalem pull a win here and keep us on the edge of our seats a little bit. Artanis bans are bad. Man, I do not blame them for banning Artanis, though. You're going to Battlefield of Eternity. You have the amateur opponent for the Immortal Shred. On top of that, Yunalesca, a bit of a beast on the Artanis, lands amazing swaps. True gamers hold it in. Alrighty, looks like both these teams ready to get into game number 2 here. Again, we're going to Infernal Shrines in just a moment.
Infernal Shrines!
True gamers have a bucket. Oh no. Do you think Arrogant would do any silly strats? Apparently have them some Cho'Gall players. That would be fun to see. Yeah, I'd have no interest in going against Yuna's Artanis. No. Alright, Arrogant Nephalem. Really just using up all the time here to decide what to ban, and they are going to take away the Greymane. I can't say I blame them. We did see Coffee playing Greymane last game, and he was just, you know, not afraid at all in there grabbing picks when he could. Using that go for the throat to really help secure kills into all of the backline that they had last game. Like I said too, going into game number 1, Coffee's Greymane, quite scary. Oh, sorry, Tearless. I had whispers going off in my game. Like when you're listening to someone or watching someone stream and you hear something getting plugged into a computer and you're like, wait, I didn't, what? All right, we had the Brightwing ban coming out as well. So this time it looks like Arrogant Nephalem looking to target ban those things that they don't want to see. That we saw UuuuuuuuU play last game, I should say.
I bring the mega death.
Grabbing that ETC. Okay, I already am liking this draft so far. I'm excited to see what else they grab here. Now paying one of his favorites is Muradin. He hasn't played that yet tonight, but he has a whole hero pool, like a big hero pool to choose from. So I wouldn't necessarily say that's exactly what we're going to see. He's going to go with the Joanna again. All right, so Artanis and Joanna being picked up on the side of UuuuuuuuU. This is going to give us an opportunity maybe to see those God swaps from UuuuuuuuuU. All right, Stukov being picked up on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. And now we have the Mephisto as well. I think this could pair really nicely. Endurance of Hate with a Silence underneath. Maybe even follow it up with a Mosh. The Imperious band coming out again on the side of UuuuuuuU. Interestingly enough, Arrogant Nephalem banning out the Ana as well.
So it begins.
I mean, it makes sense. UuuuuuuU still needs their healer being picked up. Ana is she's in a pretty good spot right now. I don't know. I'm sure Slexia does play some Ana, but I don't know that that's one of her go-to healers. I do see her grab like the Deckard or Anduin or Brightwing more often than I see her on Ana. So Deckard and Hanzo once again picked up on the side of UuuuuuuU. Oh.
Anytime you're ready.
All right. This is looking real fun here. Deathwing getting grabbed for Arrogant Nephalem, as well as that Raynor once again. I like this. They have a little bit more front line this time. I will say, playing Artanis into Deathwing, you know, I don't mind that matchup. You can stack real easy on Deathwing if you take Protector of Ire at level 1.
Obey the call.
Now we have the Kel'Thuzad being picked up by Coffee. This one's always, you hate to see it when you're going into Coffee. It's very scary. And I was kind of wondering if we were going to see it on Infernal Shrines. It's a little bit better of a map for Kel'Thuzad. You like Arrogant Nephalem's drafts? Good comp for Arrogant Nephalem. Yeah, I think this will work a lot better than in game number 1 for them, having an extra front line. I'm excited to see what kind of combos they can pull off, because they do have some nice you know, combo potential here with the Durance, with Silence underneath, maybe a Mosh, maybe even a Stage Dive if they want to opt for that. But here we are, game number 2 of our best of 3 series. We do have Arrogant Nephalem on the left-hand side with the Killadin on the Deathwing.
The battle begins in 10 seconds.
Sagatai on the ETC Null Pointer playing the Stukov, Trabe on the Mephisto, and Mig playing the Raynor. And on the right-hand side, UuuuuuuU with Slexia on the Deckard, Coffee playing the KTZ, Pang on Joanna, Big Bird on the Hanzo, and Unileska on Artanis. followed up by the ETC power slide. Big Bird getting really low, but he somehow just manages to jump over the wall and survive there. Holy. What a start to the game already. They just switched False Head to Deathwing, am I right? Well, and Diablo to ETC. And Anna to Suka. So no, it's kind of an entirely different draft. They did have Mephisto and the Raynor in the first game. So this looks like Raynor is going to be off in the solo lane against the Artanis. That might be better for Arrogant Nephalem, because as I said, it's pretty easy for Artanis to be able to stack on a Deathwing if they take Protector of Ire at level 1. For right now, though, I would say this is pretty standard play you have going on. Camps come up at 1 minute. Both teams looking to grab that siege camp. As soon as you get that siege camp, you rotate and try and grab the bottom siege camp if the other team is a little bit behind, and that's what we're going to see here. Arrogant Nephalem already on the bottom camp. Well, UuuuuuuuU just falling a little bit behind, finishing things off a little bit later, giving enough time for Arrogant Nephalem to do that second pickup on the siege camp. Now, first objective is going to be spawning in top. Typically, you will see...
First blood.
Oh, wow. Top lane here. Look at this. Raynor barely any health left, but did manage to get the pick onto UuuuuuuuuU. We missed that one. Hanzo, though, is coming up for the rotation here. Raynor needs to be careful. He's kind of caught out here. Hanzo has quite long range poke. See if he can get this kill, but he's going to be able to back out. Meanwhile, when that was all happening, camps are getting cleared up in the mid and bottom. And Arrogant Nephalem already a level ahead on XP. Let's take a look here and see how these stacks are going so far. We do have Hanzo talenting into target practice at level 1. Just finished off one stack of that right there. As well as the KTZ having his baseline quest, he's sitting at 5 stacks on that. On the left-hand side, Arrogant Nephalem, we have ETC talenting into Prog Rock at level 1 and already has 8 globes of that finished. Arrogant Nephalem wasting no time getting on this objective, already starting to burn that down. Meanwhile, UuuuuuuuU deciding to pick up their bruiser camp in the meantime. They are turning up to objective now. It does look like ETC and Deathwing are kind of going to be the front line to zone them off while the rest of the team continues to shred down this objective. Power slide connecting onto the Joanna, but she's still in there. There's lots of potions kind of help her sustain, but they need to start doing something soon. Already 30 minions grabbed on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. We had the chains connecting onto the Deathwing and the Stukov. Fortunately, no picks here. They're still only sitting 3 minions left. If they can just get in there and finish off. Swap landing onto the Artanis. He's sent into the back line. Kang landing the Condemn onto him, and he's looking to try and get out here. Unfortunately, it's going to be the Stukov that actually falls, but they do manage to secure this Punisher. Frozen Punisher this time. So that's going to shut down this front wall if they want to look to get a little bit of siege damage in here. This Punisher making sure to hit literally every single minion before it goes for the push onto the front wall here. You have Pang eating the jump from the Punisher. And again, Frozen Punisher, so that front wall is disabled for a moment there. It's back up now. And they're doing a good job of shredding this down and defending it. Only one tower of the wall secured. They're looking to pick up that other tower. And now they're backing off here. Again, Raynor has just been off doing his own thing. He's now on this bottom camp right here. Did he go Exterminator at level 1? He did. Okay. So yeah, he's going to be probably looking to get camps where he can when he can. 13 stacks now on that KTZ as well. So he's getting there. He's scaling. Have Arrogant Nephalem picking up that bottom siege camp. So they got the mid one with Raynor and now the bottom one as well. So again, they managed to get that neutral camp both times here. But interestingly enough, XP pretty much even again. Oh, Venus, thank you for the raid. Hi, Double Man. And Dax. Oh, welcome everyone. I really appreciate it. He's taking quite a bit of damage here. Just trying to step up and create space for his team to clear out this bottom camp. Again, Raynor kind of just doing the off-lane thing this game, grabbing that soak mid. We're going to need to see a rotation top soon from Arrogant Nephalem as that wave is about to crash here, and we do see the Raynor starting to come up. Joanna getting caught a little bit here, does pop that trait. Stun goes out, connects onto the KTZ, but again, a little bit too close to the walls, not able to really do much off of it. Just kind of pressuring them in these lanes here. Hello, hello, Biff. Oh, we have the Mosh coming out from the ETC. Fortunately, stunned right away to interrupt that. Not able to get anything off the kill here, or off the Mosh here. All 5 members of both teams kind of grouped up and now hanging around in the bottom and mid lanes. Power slide going out onto the Joanna. She's going to pop her trait and be able to walk away. We did have level 10s hit here, and it looks like both teams are going to opt to grab bruiser camps. So let's just give you a rundown quickly of what the members of each team are going here. So we have that Durance of Hate coming out once again from the Mephisto. Bellowing Roar, so we have the Feared Interrupt on the Deathwing. Massive Shove from the Stukov. Mosh from the ETC, and Raynor's Raider from the Raynor. On the side of UuuuuuuuuU, Stay a While and Listen on the Deckard. Shadow Fissure on the KTZ. We have Precious Pulse on the Artanis, Dragon's Arrow on the Hanzo, and Blessed Shield on the Joanna. And here starts the fight over this next objective here. Pang in the front line here. Power Slide goes out, connects onto the KTZ, and he was in the silence there for a minute, looking to try and get the kill here. But they need to be careful because they're leaving the rest of their backline vulnerable chasing him. Just a lot of splitting going on in these fights. We see a little bit of a 1v1 going on between the Raynor and the Hanzo up top, and meanwhile down here, it's kind of the rest of the team fighting. Power Slide connecting onto the Joanna and the Hanzo. Hanzo jumps over the wall. He's going to be able to back up into safety. Potions are out to kind of keep Pang alive here as well. And the race is on. It's 29-28, 31-28. What a beautiful Blessed Shield. Goes out, connects onto 3 members of Arrogant Nephalem, but Deathwing now in the back line, chasing down Big Bird and Coffee. And again, just a few minions away on both teams from being able to secure this objective. Here comes the Mosh, this time no interrupt right away. Pang's gonna fall. Down goes the Artanis as well, and the rest of the team soon to follow. Deckard being picked off, rest of the teammates able to escape here, maybe set up to defend this, but this is gonna be a nice push mid with 3 members down on the side of UuuuuuuuU. Jumps over the wall. We're going to see Joanna pop her trait. She'll be unstoppable, able to keep that easily. And they do manage to pick off that fort.
Team has destroyed a fort.
As well, we saw Mephisto top the entire time, pushing with the Bruiser camp that they had secured before objective and able to take that top fort as well. So definitely a little bit of a different showing this time for Arrogant Nephalem. It does seem like they're the more dominant team in this match. Oh, combo landing onto the Stukov. Not quite enough to secure the kill here, but definitely something to be scary of. I mean, KTZ stacking, 25 stacks right now, the 30 needed to get that Master of the Cold Dark quest done at level 1. Hanzo still looking out to finish out his level 1 quest as well. So UuuuuuuuU definitely not out of it yet. I mean, they're scaling. What can I say? Alright. Arrogant Nephalem picking up that siege camp here. I mean, right now, Arrogant Nephalem is going to hit their level 16s first. So if they want to play this a little bit slower, just go for the soak, don't go for the fights, they can definitely look to do that here. They don't need to really force much. They're a whole level up on UuuuuuuuU right now. Fighting is only going to give UuuuuuuuU an opportunity to come back in this match. So that's what we're going to kind of see. Well, that's what I expect to see from them here. Just rotating to pick up what XP globes they can. Being patient, getting that 16. Bruiser camps are up and available. Arrogant Nephalem already starting on theirs. Objective is spawning in top next time. So a little bit of an advantage for Arrogant Nephalem going into this, as they already did secure that top fort on the side of UuuuuuuU. So if they manage to take the objective here, they already have top lane cleared out and they'll be going straight on to keep. They also have a fountain on their side to fall back to tap as well when they start team fights. I was kind of expecting UuuuuuuU to maybe just take that bottom fort while they were down there. Definitely had enough time to do it, but instead just getting soaked where they could, and now Arrogant Nephalem pushing in onto this top keep wall with the help of 2 bruiser camps here. They have that level 16 advantage as well, so it's going to be a bit hard for UuuuuuuU to kind of contest this point down a talent tier. Looks like UuuuuuuU doesn't want to show up to this fight down talent tiers, so we're going to see a rotation from them. UuuuuuuuU looking to push in bottom lane, potentially grab this bottom siege camp as well. KTZ and Joanna grabbing the siege camp in the mid lane. So they're just going to be defending this Punisher, but they want to get as much pressure in the map somewhere else to kind of force Arrogant Nephalem to have to deal with other things on the map instead of pushing in for keeps here. So that bottom fort, you can probably expect to fall if no one goes back to defend that. Mid fort definitely being pressured. Kang eating the jump from the Immortal here. This is an Arcane Punisher. UuuuuuU's kind of looking like they're a little bit scared to step up, and I can't say I blame them. A jump on the wrong person followed up by a slide from the ETC can definitely be devastating and cost you the game here. But they're going to clear out that Punisher. They do lose their top keep in the meantime. But bottom lane about to fall. They do get that fort, so that's opened up for them now. Yeah, and now they just are going to have to look for that fight before level 20. Here comes the Deathwing. Stukov being swapped, and now Artanis is just looking to land on the backline. We had the Mosh come out from the ETC, but unfortunately, so much of his team's just being chased away. They weren't able to get anything from it. KTC landing the combo onto the ETC, getting quite low. He power slides out of there. And that looks like it's just going to be Arrogant Nephalem's on the retreat now. So they do manage to get that kill onto Arrogant Nephalems, and maybe an opportunity here to start to turn the game around for UuuuuuuU. Grabbing the siege camp, and they can start to push in middle, look to get some structures potentially. Stukov back up in 15 seconds, so they don't have a lot of time to do much here, and they are going to have to go back to clear out top lane soon, as there's a couple katas pushing onto their core. Power slide going out onto the KTZ, and Deathwing now landing in the back line of UuuuuuU. They're looking to try and get this engaged. They know that they have the numbers here. They can see Artanis clearing top, and they want to get what they can while they're up in the 5v4. And they do find that pick onto the KTZ. So this is kind of Arrogant Nephalem. They are going to look to clear out this bottom fort now, open up the map even more. Next objective is spawning mid. They already have a fort there, which is going to give them a little bit of a structure to retreat to if things get sticky at next objective. Still slightly ahead on XP as well. I think it would be in Uuuuuuuu's best interest to try and force a fight here before level 20s are in line for Arrogant Nephalem. But we're going to have to see what they decide to do.
The shrine gathers power. Claim it in my name.
I'm clearing out mid. Bruiser Camp is up and available on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. I'm wondering if they're going to go scout that and see if they can catch anyone on it. But no, they're just kind of hanging back, which is, they might just be deciding that they're close enough in levels to just go for the level 20 and fight with level 20s up on both sides. Arrogant Nephalem already starting to burn down the minions on objective here. Coffee just kind of flanking onto the team as KTZ looking to land some combos. They find the kill onto the Rainer. Out goes the Durance, does connect onto a couple members of UuuuuuuuU, and is getting Yuna and Pang quite low with the follow-up damage off that, but they're not able to secure a kill here. And this is the tricky part. If you don't secure that kill, Deckard potions doesn't take long to heal up a lot of the team. And now we can kind of see Pang is almost back to full health. Yuna's getting healed up now. The rest of the team looking pretty healthy to contest this objective, and this is going to be the the Punisher going over to UuuuuuuU.
Summon the frozen Punisher.
And the Immortal jumped onto the ETC. Mephisto trying to get some damage in, getting caught a little bit here, does get caught in the Deckard group. And Deathwing using the Cataclysm here to try and help clear out the Immortal, defend this mid fort. But that is going to fall. And now looking to push onto this keep. This is a level 20 Punisher. And it is a frozen Punisher, so they're going to be able to shut down that front wall. Maybe even the keep have a little bit of help here. That jump ate by the Mephisto, followed up by the stay a while and listen, and then the beautiful swap, sending Mephisto right into the back line. They're going to get the kill onto the Mephisto, not for free though, because down goes Hanzo and down goes KTZ as well, and the Punisher just jumping on the members of Arrogant Nephalem as the chase is on here. I think that's all they're going to get. They're going to turn around, defend this Punisher now. And managing to save their mid keep as well.
Red team's Punisher has fallen.
They do manage to get that wall though, and at least they managed to get the fort as well, so they have those periodic catapults to match the periodic catapults of Arrogant Nephalem now. Still, that top lane is going to have to continuously be cleared out as they are missing their keep in the top lane. Arrogant Nephalem just starting to paint the map blue once again, grabbing the siege camp on their side and then going for the invade onto Uuuuuuu's camp. Maybe looking to grab this bottom siege camp as well once they clear this wave. And that's exactly what they're going to do here. Bruiser camp up and available on the side of UuuuuuuU. They want to grab that now. Unfortunately for UuuuuuU, next Punisher is spawning in the top lane. Again, they don't have any forts or keeps left in the top lane. If they do manage to win it, they have to go through a fort, a full health fort. and a keep to try and end the game with it. So a little bit of an awkward position for UuuuuuuuU going into this next Punisher phase. Looks like they're just gonna clear out what lanes they can. Nobody really looking to try and get any fights, just looking to grab what camps are up and available, clear them out, keep their lanes pushed out a bit. I guess the one good thing for UuuuuuuuU going into this next Punisher phase is that they are not going to have to worry about defending top lane because they're going to be sitting in top lane the entire time. Bruiser camp getting picked up by Arrogant Nephalem now, so that's going to have to be cleared out. Both these teams just playing it really slow. Okay, doing a good job of kind of warding these bushes and keeping an eye on any rotations that might be coming out from Arrogant Nephalem. But Arrogant Nephalem, no real interest in trying to force anything here. They've been sticking in safe spots on the map. Yeah, so like I said, the one good thing about it spawning top is UuuuuuuU gets to clear out that top lane. They don't have to worry about Katas pushing onto their core. Have KTZ looking to land that combo, doesn't quite connect here. Hang in the back line. They're gonna need to make something happen here. Yuna kind of looking for the flank as well. Just going in, putting some damage onto the Deathwing. ETC goes in for the Mosh. It gets immediately interrupted. He gets swapped. He's in the stay a while. Listen now, the KTZ combo, and he falls. Deathwing comes out with the Cataclysm. KTZ getting a little bit caught out here, but he's going to be able to back up, barely surviving as Deathwing drops his Q onto him. Durance goes out, doesn't connect with anyone. Kang now in the back line, getting chunked down. See if his team can help him out here. He does proc that level 20 upgrade that he took. And they do manage to find another kill onto the Rainer. So it does look like this Punisher will go over to the side of UuuuuuuU. It's just whether they're going to be able to do enough with it to end the game here. As I said, they have to go through an entire fort here. And then a keep before they go to the core. You see Arrogant Nephalem decide to pick up that middle siege camp to kind of threaten mid-keep while they do the push here. They take that top fort easily, not contested at all. A couple members of Arrogant Nephalem are still down and about to come up. We do see the ETC back up to help with this defense now. Need to be careful who the jump lands onto because there comes the KTZ combo. Mephisto just blown up and we have the Blessed Shield to follow up. Connecting onto the Stukov and ETC. Now they're just doing the siege on the top keep. I think this is them trying to end this game at this point. They got a pick. That Punisher is still pretty healthy. They got the top keep down and now pushing on to core here. Punisher jumps onto the ETC. Yuna going in. No swap coming out there though. Punisher getting quite low. They really need to find a pick here to try and end this out. Unfortunately, it's just not happening yet. They're looking for that level 24 power spike, maybe.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
Unfortunately, they do lose that keep because, as I said, Arrogant Nephalem picked up that siege camp on their side of the map for the mid lane, and that was able to put enough pressure onto that mid keep that it fell during the push through top with the Punisher. UuuuuuuU kind of starting to grab what camps they can here. We might see a fight over this bottom camp. Power slide going out onto the Joanna. ETC in the back line. The unstoppable popped on him. That was the Gladiator's medallion we just saw. So that's down on the ETC. We have the combo from the KTC, but he's flanked and he's in the back line now, and he's going to get focused. We have a solo Mosh going out to him as well, and down goes the KTZ. Yeah, very aggressive flanks coming out from the KTZ. It's paid off sometimes, but unfortunately here he falls. So we're gonna try to siege in bottom, keep a little bit, open up the map even more. Next objective is spawning in the mid lane. Both bruiser camps also up and available to take if they choose to do that. Need to be a little bit careful because although they have the numbers here, fighting underneath a fort can be a bit of a risk. Massive shove coming out from that Stukov. Sends the Hanzo all the way up to top lane. Just looking to put some pressure in this lane and cause them to have to deal with this. They're probably going to back up, clear out their mid lane as they have a siege camp pushing onto the keep on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. Also a siege camp up and available for them to grab here on the way. So we're going to do that. Bruiser camp being grabbed by UuuuuuuuU. And the next thing that we can maybe see is UuuuuuuuU doing an invade onto the bruiser camp of Arrogant Nephalem if they want to do that. But both teams so far have been just playing it really safe after getting level 20s.
A shrine gathers power. You will take it for me.
ETC set up on that bench, making sure to keep eyes on any rotation coming out from UuuuuuuuU. They were able to grab that bruiser camp. And you know, this isn't too bad for UuuuuuuU for this Punisher to spawn in here. Again, this is their one lane, well, now their second lane that doesn't have a keep, but they have taken the keep in the top fort to kind of counter push Kata's spawning in from Arrogant Nephalem. So this will be the next lane that they need to worry about. Kata's getting on the core end, and that's where the Immortal spawns in. We have a swap trying to come out from Yuna there, doesn't quite connect. Hanzo clearing out the bruiser camp so that UuuuuuU's bruiser camp can kind of push in and cause some pressure in the top lane here. Oh, combo landing onto the Stukov, and he is just stuck in there. Nothing to do to save him. He's going to fall, but Hanzo and KTZ getting quite low in this fight here. They're backing up a little bit, trying to look for some poke damage that they can get out without putting themselves in harm's way. ETC being the next target here. Joanna just on him, chasing him down a little bit. He's gone off the objective. Swap landing onto the Mephisto. Out comes the Hanzo ult, and he's just going to be deleted here. Two members down on the side of Arrogant Nephalem, but here comes the Mosh, and he took that level 20 that lets a power slide onto it, continue the Mosh. So, Hanzo getting low, he's gonna fall here, but not for free. Down goes the Deathwing as well. ETC now stuck back in here, looking to try and escape, but it's not gonna be enough by the looks of this. It's just whether he can take someone with him when he goes. Hang landing the Condemn onto him. Unileska and Deckard kind of looking to try and help out Joanna. And it's going to be a slow but painful death for the ETC there. They did lose the Punisher, so that is going to their core, and we're going to see a bit of a base race here. As the rest of UuuuuuuU going straight onto the core of Arrogant Nephalem. Meanwhile, a Punisher heading to theirs. Pan getting quite low. He's going to get picked off. We have the level 20 proc on Joanna, so he'll live through that for a second. And they do take game number 2. What an exciting match here. GG's and well played. Congrats to UuuuuuU. Bringing the series to a 2-1. And what a great showing from Arrogant Nephalem as well. Yeah, very close match here. It really could have gone either way. Let me just do some quick updates of score and stuff here. Let you guys take a look at the score screen, and I'll give you guys talent builds really quickly. And while you guys take a look at this, I'm going to hit up the captain of UuuuuuuU and see if they'd like to do an interview. Okay. We are gonna get the captain of UuuuuuuU here. Okay, congrats on the win tonight.
Hey.
I have Slexia here with me to interview for UuuuuuuU. This is your second week of NGS. Last week you pulled out a win, bringing it to game number 3. This week coming in with the sweep.
Yeah, it was tough fought. Like, it was a challenge that last game. I'm very proud of our team, but I can't believe it was like a 30-minute long game. We were playing so
Both
passively.
teams playing very, very safe and slow at the end there. I don't think either one of them wanted to throw. Can we talk a little bit about your map picks here? Both these maps being picked by you, Battlefield of Eternity and Infernal Shrines. Does your team have a strategy, and when you're going with your map picks, are there certain maps where you kind of know how you want to play it and you guys feel comfortable on, or how do you go about that?
So we really didn't have Battlefield as one of our strong maps before going into the game today. We played one Storm League match and we did all right on it. So we're like, let's do Battlefield. And it worked out. We did Infernal Shrines last week, and I think we did pretty decently on that. So we chose it again. I don't know. We just don't want Hanamura and we don't want Dragonshire, essentially. So we were fine with whatever else. And considering we won, the first game, we were able to get map pick again. So just putting the ball in our court with that.
All right. In terms of draft and stuff, have you guys pretty much secured who's playing what role on your team, or is there any flexing going on? Because I know you heal, but I know you also play mages and assassins from time to time as well.
So I haven't been flexing this season at all. In the event that we might need a certain niche healer, I might flex, but Coffee and Big Bird do have the ability to flex if needed. For example, we had Coffee on Greymane the first game, and Big Bird played as Hanzo, which he does play so well. But if he had to, Big Bird would have picked up a mage. Coffee has his pocket picks, and he pulls those out when he has to. But they're the two assassins for our team.
All right, and of course we have Yuna in the off lane and Pang playing tank.
Yeah, Ping is an exceptional tank. I cannot state that enough. Last week, the way that he saved people so many times as Garrosh and set up so many amazing fights. And this week doing the same. He's always on point with his rotations, keeping vision for us. Like, he is really the solid foundation of our team this season, I feel.
Yeah, Pang, I'm familiar with Pang. I've known him for a number of years now, and he's quite a strong tank player and has a nice hero pool of tanks to choose from as well. So I can't say any surprises there. Let's talk about your Brightwing pickups. We saw you play Brightwing last week in some of your matches. Not a healer that people typically think of as a go-to pick, but both games, or all games that I've seen you play the Brightwing on, you've just been saving people left and right with your teleports and shields, and yeah.
Thanks. There was one or maybe a couple of missed phase shifts that first game, but I feel like right now Brightwing is pretty decent. We have that extra cleanse with Gladiator's Medallion, but the meta seems to be like such a blow up type of scenario. And with them having a Mephisto player with all of the damage he does, like, those shields can really be impactful. So even though she kind of whispers heals at you in the beginning, she really ramps up over time. And the utility she brings with her silence on Q and other things like that, not to mention the polymorph, is just something that you really can't find in other healers right now, in my opinion, that put out like the same kind of numbers. Like, Tronde can stun people, but she has to like constantly be attacking something.
Last and not least, let's talk a little bit about Gladiator's Medallion. It's been out for a week now. What is your team's feelings on the Gladiator Medallion?
So I don't think we have a collective feeling about it. I think that we use it when we need to. I can say with 100% honesty, I didn't use it a single time tonight. But but from Girls Gang Squad last week, I used it. Like I think it's situational. It's nice to have that extra cleanse, but I didn't use it. Had I been able to use it before a couple of the moshes in game 2, maybe something would have been different. But yeah, it just, I think it's something nice to have something extra. But a lot of us pick heroes that have pretty decent escapes, and I think Coffee is the only one that really gets caught out. But he plays some very, very high risk, high reward types of heroes.
He definitely is not afraid to go for those flank engages no matter what hero he's playing.
Yeah.
As we saw in game number 2 on the KTZ. But other than that, I don't have any more questions for you. Do you have any shout outs?
Just shout outs to the whole team, to Coffee, Yuna, Big Bird, Ping, and Imran, our sub, who I saw was watching the stream. Shout outs to you for casting, and shout outs to the other team for making us sweat quite a bit tonight. Truly appreciate it, and I'm just excited that we won. Also still nervous somehow, but hey.
Well, I'm very excited to see where you guys go from here. I know that this was the match to kind of keep an eye on this week for your division, and coming in with the 2-0 sweep is probably going to put you pretty far up there in terms of where your standings in your division. So congratulations, well played, and good luck in the rest of the season.
Thank you so much, Jazzy.
Yeah, no problem. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, that's gonna wrap up my NGS games for tonight. I really appreciate everyone coming out and checking out the matches here. I think I'm gonna call it in terms of stream tonight. My throat is kind of bugging me. There's still a lot of smoke in my area. It's starting to clear up, but it's still not great. And I had to spend a lot of time outside today cleaning up some stuff, and so yeah. But I'm gonna find us someone to raid over. Hopefully, maybe there's some NGS casts still going on. All right. Okay. Cool. Bahamut is still casting, and I almost never get to raid him because he is an early
Try and
to bed
steal a
type
few?
of guy here. So we're gonna send you guys over to Bahamut. Other than that, if you enjoyed the cast, you like listening to casted games, this is kind of what I'm transitioning my stream to be more about here. So if that's what you're into, make sure to hit that follow button and check out the rest of the streams coming up. I am casting again tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. PT. We're doing Division C West, as well as Thursday. I don't know which game that is off the top of my head. And then some stuff going on this weekend as well. So I think a heroic division on Sunday potentially. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but for sure tomorrow 7:30 p.m. PC for my next Nexus cast. Until then, have a good time in Bahamut stream, and thank you so much for the follows and the raids and hosts. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.